All right, let's get into some actual news and notes here, starting with ESPN's Adam Schefter throwing out some crazy price tags for the Pittsburgh Steelers
Yeah.
quarterback. He was on the Rothman and Ice podcast saying that both Steelers quarterbacks could cost around $30 million in 2025. He said, quote, I think that's not unreasonable. Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, that kind of thing, if Russell has a good season. And by the way, I could make the same argument for Justin Fields. The chances are they're not going to bring back both Fields and Wilson in Pittsburgh, but you want to have one. So you want somebody to kind of distinguish themselves, separate themselves, and then reward that guy for what he does. So $30 million for the Steelers quarterback next year, no matter which one they end up going with.
I have such a hard time believing this one. I have such a, and like 30 million makes sense. Baker Mayfield deal real nice. If it's Justin Fields, maybe, but don't you want a full year with Justin? Don't you want that one, like, here's $20 million, test it out, and then go to 30 million? Like, the back end of this it's much better than the front end of this. I just feel like 30 million that's not a trial run. $30 million is you are our quarterback and you need to win us games because you are our $30 million quarterback. And I don't see that being the case with Justin. I could see like a 1 year, 20-ish million dollars, maybe even a little bit cheaper. And then the next year is the big payday, because then you find yourself in a situation with Jordan Love where, yeah, it looks awesome. And then the next year it doesn't really look that great. And you just paid a boatload of money for maybe nothing. Daniel Jones. And you just don't want to take that risk. You don't want to find yourself at a quarterback where you invested too much. And frankly, I don't think the Steelers are going to do that. With Russell Wilson, I can see $30 million. I'm not going to say it's likely, but I could see $30 million. If he takes them to the spot where they feel next year they're winning a Super Bowl with this guy, okay, maybe. But he's really got, like, you have to be certain that by the time Russ retires, he is your best shot to win a Super Bowl. And maybe he is. I don't know. I also think that there's a shot that him, Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan, Art Rooney all sit down and say, Russ, we want to win a Super Bowl. You've made a boatload of money in your career. Why not take a nice team-friendly deal and let's go win a damn Super Bowl? And I think that Russ is the type of guy that maybe he does that. He wants to play till 40. He's 34, 35 years old. Like, take one more short deal where it's 2 years, you make $20 million each season, and then after that, go make a boatload of money and retire. Like, I don't know. I feel like in the next 5 years, if you make $20 million a year and you walk away with $140 million in your pocket, or excuse me, $100 million in your pocket, that's not terrible. Like, that's not really the worst case scenario for anybody, especially somebody who's made over $250 million in their career. Feel like at some point you're okay. And you're married to Sierra. You're going to be fine. Plus you're making $76 million or something this year. I don't know. Maybe it seems like the math is there. I just don't feel like, if you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and how they go about things, it just doesn't feel like they're just going to dive into either of these guys and say, here's a boatload of money. We'll figure the rest out and it'll be okay, even when maybe it won't be. And then you have dug yourself a major hole.
Yeah, and even considering the fact that we're going to have to wait and see how this all plays out, because this is a conversation being had after 2 starts for Russell Wilson, and also a 4-2 start for Justin Fields, in which, Mike Tomlin outwardly said, good, not great. So 30 million, I feel like, is a jump, but by the end of the season, maybe that's where we are. And if we are, I think that's a good thing, because that means both, or at the very least one, has performed up to snuff, which means the Steelers are in a good position.
I agree 100%. It's just about, how, if you pay $30 million, what are you going to lose? And is it worth losing?